I'm about to run through all of the things in your house that are killing you, which is very, very important. So what we did was we decided to put together an ebook that contains all of the brands for the products that I recommend. So I am giving you a curated list of all of the brands that I recommend to replace your household products, your personal care products, even your feminine products, everything that you can think of. We go over hair, skin, oral, feminine care, household cleaners, candles, everything, right? That's all in this ebook. Let's jump in. Everything in your house is killing you. So as you guys know, what we always do in these videos is I tackle beliefs, right? Because people don't really know why they believe the things that they believe. They really don't. So in the nutrition space, right? It's like you buy your kid Fruity Pebbles because Fred Flintstone told you to, right? Or you clean your floor with harsh, toxic chemicals and artificial scents and all these awful ingredients because a creepy, animated, jacked, bald dude with an earring told you that this is how you clean your floor, and he danced in the kitchen with the housewife. Ooh, and now Mr. Clean sells a bunch of bullshit to people, right? So you don't really know why you buy these things. It's like food. We take the marketer's word for it. The food industry is run by marketers. The chemical-filled product industry is also run by marketers. That's how you're making your decision. Those Pine Sol commercials that you have, everyone smells so good, or Febreze, right? Smelling this air freshener stuff, right? All these people are breathing in toxic chemicals, right? They don't tell you about the cancer 6 years down the line. But that's how you're making these choices. So when you first got to Clovis, a lot of you, I know this because I know most of you watching this video, a lot of you didn't give a lot of thought to the ingredients lists on packages or what toxins or chemicals or artificial foods were in your cabinets. You didn't really give it much thought. Then once you go through and you start taking a look at all these products, you got to throw away everything. And that sucks, right? People are mad at me for it. I'm like, not my fault. I didn't make the shitty products. I only make the good ones, right? So the same thing goes with these products in your house. If you start looking around, how much time have you given to what kind of chemicals and toxins are in your home? Most people, if you're just an average, everyday person, you've given exactly 0 minutes of thought to what is in your house that could be potentially killing you. So let's talk about how many chemicals you're absorbing daily. Now, before we get into these actual products, before we get into what's killing you, we have to understand why, which means we have to do a little lesson on an organ in your body. That is called skin. Skin is literally the biggest organ in your entire body, okay? So how many people have heard a health guru, let's call them, right? The word guru. How many people have heard gurus talk about detoxing? We need to detox. This juice cleanse detoxes you. Sit in a steam room and you'll sweat out the toxins. Go to an energy healer and you'll sweat out the toxins, right? Everyone talks about toxins, detox. Why don't these people tell you how toxins get in your body? We know that they can get in your body from food. We've talked about that. But what we forget is that there are literal clinical studies that show that a giant number of the toxins that end up in your bloodstream come from your skin. That's where they come from, okay? This literally, arrows, permeable, goes right into your skin. Not only that, but the products that we use every day, we use on our most sensitive areas, which are also the highest rate of absorption areas in your entire body. Your gums, your armpits, and your genitals, okay? Gums, armpits, genitals. These are the most absorbent sites on your entire body, and this is where we use all of our chemicals. So get this, gums, armpits, genitals. The absorption rate in those areas on your skin is 99%. You literally are absorbing everything that you put in those areas, right? So what does that mean for you? Think about it for 1 second, right? Teeth whiteners, deodorant, mouthwash, fluoride toothpaste, petroleum lubricants, right? Lotions, soaps, household cleaners. All these things are entering your bloodstream basically unfiltered, like completely unfiltered. It would almost be healthier to ingest them. You would have a better shot at these things not killing you to ingest them. Now, don't go drink bleach and quote me on that, right? I'm just telling you that they're getting into your system basically unfiltered. It's very, very dangerous. It gets straight into your bloodstream. So think hard about your personal regimen, right? How many of your routine products contain chemicals? Like I said, if you're an average person, all of them do. That's the answer. All of them contain chemicals. Now, my house is 100% chemical free. I do not allow chemicals in my home, right? So that took some time. That took some doing. I had to transform that house. But my general rule of thumb is if I would not be comfortable swallowing it, it does not go on my skin, okay? Literally. If I would not be comfortable swallowing it, it does not go on my skin, period. And let me tell you why. I'm going to tell you what the stakes are. If you have kids, listen to this story. So I know a woman named Amelia Antonetti. I don't know if you know Amelia's name. Amelia's kind of a celebrity. She works with Steve Harvey and worked with Oprah and all these things, right? So Amelia told me her story about her first big success. She was an entrepreneur, right? And what happened was she had a son. She was 19 years old at the time. This is probably 30 years ago, right? Probably 25, 30 years ago. But she had a son, and her son kept getting rushed to the hospital over and over and over. Rushed to the hospital. I mean, dying, right? Getting injections, getting all these crazy treatments, hooked up to machines. They'd spend the whole day and the whole next day, the whole night in the hospital. This kid's dying, right? Not a single doctor has any answers for her. Literally, no answers. They're telling her at one point, it literally like a car dealer. It's like, guess you got a lemon. Sorry, this kid doesn't stand much of a chance. Like, they were basically telling her to just accept that her son was dying. So she got so fed up that one of her friends finally convinced her to go see a naturopath. So she sees this naturopath, and she's thinking, this is woo-woo, this guy's full of shit, but I'm going to do it because I'm at my wit's end and I'm out of ideas, right? The naturopath says, you need to journal your whole schedule. Write down everything you do, from work to sleep to eat to drink coffee. Write down all of it. Amelia's thinking, you're crazy, but why not? I'm going to do this. She very quickly, through that writing down her schedule, realized that her son going to the hospital always fell within a 24-hour window of a very particular chore. What was that chore? Laundry. Amelia would do her laundry, dress her kid, send him off to school, whatever. Within 24 hours, that child was in the hospital. He was having a deadly allergic reaction to laundry detergent and or fabric softener, one of the two. So anyway, this led Amelia to remembering that her grandma used to make homemade soap from animal fat. That's how soap used to be made, right? Okay? I'm 31, if you're older than me, especially if you're older than me, your grandparents probably knew how to make soap from animal fat. That's the way that it was done. So long story short, Amelia creates Soapworks, this chemical-free soap, sells it to Clorox for $300 million, rides off into the sunset. There you go. That's an incredible story about how serious this can get, right? It's insane what chemicals can do to people. Now, thankfully, years later, doctors have kind of caught on to these things. They can figure out where these allergic reactions are coming to. So let's jump into some products. Let's talk about how important these are. Number one, I bring this one up first. We're going to glance over it just because people seem to be aware of this one, because I see a giant trend, even in normal grocery stores, in better products coming out. And so your number one, that is deodorant, okay? Deodorant is a big one. So people know deodorant is a pretty serious one, and they're trying to make changes to change that. Like it has aluminum in it. 99.99% of the deodorant that you get that is store-bought, Dove, all your favorite brands, Old Spice, all that stuff, all the biggest brands that have the biggest marketing budgets, they are toxic. They include a heavy metal toxin, which is called aluminum, right? Like I said, people love to laugh at me, Mr. Paleo guy. Oh, yeah, you eat salmon multiple times a week, and you're going to get mercury poisoning. Hold on, let me put on my Old Spice because Terry Crews, the big Jack dude, told me that this is the best deodorant for me, right? It's crazy. So the deodorant is a big issue, and know that you have a ton of options. Like I said here, you're going to get a ton of options but please, if your deodorant has aluminum in it, stop doing it. Go check your deodorant right now. If you haven't given any thought to this, I can guarantee with 100% certainty that you're going to grab your deodorant and it's going to have aluminum in it. And aluminum is probably going to be the number one ingredient. So aluminum deodorant is a real tricky one. Get rid of that first and foremost. Now, the other thing that we're dealing with in the homes is soaps, right? Soaps are a big deal because we use soaps all the time. We use them for everything. Like I said, we're cleaning our dishes with them. We're cleaning our cups with them. We're cleaning our hands with them. We're cleaning our bodies with them. So if there's one secret in society that is silently stealing optimal health from humans, that you may not have thought about, it's our obsession with completely disinfecting everything, right? Like, oh my God, 5 people probably touched this board. Let me get a Clorox wipe and wipe it off, right? I could care less. This is not going to bother me. I have a ridiculously strong gut microbiome. I have a healthy amount of germs circulating all over my body, right? I'm not a germaphobe anymore. When I was younger, I was a germaphobe. I'd go to the gas station and I'd keep Purell with me and put Purell. Oh my God, I touched this handle that 1,000 people touched, right? If you're healthy, if you have a strong biome, microbiome, there's microbiomes all over your body. I'll tell you about it. But if you have a strong skin microbiome, if you have a strong gut microbiome, you don't have to worry about this germ stuff, right? Your immune system should be functioning properly. That is the one secret. We have to get over this obsession with disinfecting. We disinfect everything, right? We disinfect our homes, our surfaces, our skin, our pets, our babies. We literally disinfect everything. It's crazy. And you're killing any and all germs. It's simply ridiculous because bacteria in the world, in the grand scheme of the world, bacteria outnumbers us like hundreds of trillions, unfathomable numbers to 1. Bacteria run the show for everything, right? If they wanted us dead, we would have been dead millions of years ago. Bacteria allows us to live because we allow bacteria to live. We're literally vessels for bacteria. When I talk about the gut microbiome, I tell you that. The bacteria cells outnumber us 100 trillion to 1 for human cells. We're more bacteria than we are humans, right? Bacteria is not necessarily a bad thing, as we know from the gut microbiome, okay? But in the last few years, this push for antibacterial everything, we've waged an all-out war on bacteria, right? Any and all bacteria is bad. It's terrible, even the friendly ones. That's what we're doing. So you need to think twice when you pick up a product that says kills 99.9% of germs. Put that down. Don't put it on your kid's hand. Don't put it on your kid's face. Don't do it. It's terrible, right? You're killing even the friendly bacteria. Most of the bacteria in your body is there to protect you, not to harm you. That's not good, okay? Now, to be clear, I've had a lot of surgeries done on myself because I'm a meathead and I hurt myself all the time, right? But if I'm getting surgery done, I want that surgery, which is quite invasive, to be in a sterile environment. I want my doctor triple washing his hands. I want him wearing OR scrubs and big rubber gloves, and I want him having a face mask on. I want a sterile environment. This is necessary. It's saved millions and millions of lives over decades by changing hospitals to these sterile environments, right? I get that, but it is not required. It's almost never required in day-to-day life. Is it required in a hospital for infection? Yes, of course it is, right? Your household, you're not having surgery done on yourself in the house, right? There's strong evidence right now, there's clinical data on this, that if you have pets, your kids will have a stronger microbiome, stronger gut microbiome. Why? Because we don't play in the dirt enough anymore, but the dogs do. And then your kids pet the dog and they get dirt on their hands and they get dander and all these things, and it strengthens their gut microbiome. We were meant to be outdoors, not in these boxed-in, sterile environments. We weren't meant to do that. So I'll give you an example. Even the FDA has caught on to this. Antibacterial soaps are banned from public schools. Think about that. One of the most germ-infested places on planet Earth. They're banned from public school. Not only that, the FDA took it even further and decided that they're going to ban the use. They're banning companies from even using antibacterial ingredients in their future consumer soap products. They're not allowed to do it. They're not allowed to make these antibacterial products anymore, right? Now, the FDA has literally put their stamp on thousands of products that can kill you, that can absolutely kill you. So if even they have caught on to this antibacterial issue, then it's a serious issue that you should really, really stop and think about. It's a serious health concern, okay? So you have people doing things like I recommend, taking probiotics to strengthen their gut microbiome, right? They're taking them every day to strengthen their gut microbiome. What they're forgetting is there are microbiomes all over your body. So let me explain this to you. There's a microbiome in your armpit, and those bacteria can't survive on your back. There's a microbiome on your back. There's a microbiome on the tip of your nose that can't survive inside your ear. The microbiome, the bacteria in the microbiome inside your ear can't survive on your scalp. They would die there. So you have trillions of bacterial cells all over you, the bottom of your feet, your genitals, your armpits, in your mouth. Your mouth has a different gut microbiome than your skin has, right? And these are very delicate atmospheres, very delicate environments, right? If you go blowing them up with antibacterial anything, you're screwed because those bacteria are your first line of defense for immune system. The more you sanitize your kid, the more your kid is going to get sick. Mark my words on that, okay? We can't just keep destroying these microbiomes with all these terrible, terrible products, right? We destroy these every day. And that's why, I mean, things like eczema and acne, we're going to get into eczema and acne a little bit down the line, but with your kids, like you're telling a kid to wash their face 3 times a day, clear blackheads or whatever. No. We'll get into how to fix that because you're making things worse. Overcleaning is a real issue. Overcleaning. Don't do it, right? We have to restore our skin's natural, healthy microbiome, which takes me into the most interesting and awkward part of our evening. We get to talk about feminine products. Women, listen up, because this is straight up crazy shit, okay? We're going to talk about feminine products, particularly tampons. I'm going to tell you something that you might not realize. A tampon is categorized as a medical tool, right? It's a medical, I can't remember I wrote it down somewhere, I forget. But it's called, a medical device, okay? A tampon is considered a medical device. What does that mean for you? What it means is the manufacturers have zero legal obligation to tell you what's in them. So if you would like to find out what your tampons are made of that go inside of your body, you would have to hire a third-party laboratory to take one of your tampons and test it to tell you what's in it. The manufacturer does not have to tell you what is in your tampons, okay? They literally don't. Now, what do we talk about? The most absorbing sites: gums, armpits, genitals, okay? So you're putting this thing in your most intimate place, and it's absorbing everything that it's made out of, right? Not just made out of harmless cotton. Let me run you through what they're made out of. Most tampons, now there's obviously tampons, pads, wipes, condoms. Condoms are a huge issue, right? But your most intimate products are not just made of fluffy, harmless cotton, okay? They contain chemicals. Tampons contain things like styrene, chloroethane, and chloroform. Yeah, like in the movies, go to sleep, chloroform rag, right? There's chloroform in your freaking tampons, dude. This is crazy. It's crazy. Now, styrene is almost even worse. Styrene is a neurotoxin. Styrene is a neurotoxin, and the World Health Organization clearly labeled it a known carcinogen. This is a cancer-causing agent that you are inserting in your vagina. Can we talk about that for a second, right? And this is something that nobody gives any thought to. Why? Because we blindly trust the medical community. So many people blindly trust the medical community. That's gotten us very far in life, hasn't it, right? So this is a medical device, so you don't get to know what goes in it, you don't get to know what the ingredients are, and you put, 11, 12,000 of them inside your body throughout your lifetime. It's insane. We need to stop the nonsense. Now, luckily, like all the other products that I'm going to mention tonight, there are fantastic alternatives. There are great brands, great companies who are helping you by making these things not be so damn toxic, okay? So let's talk about another big issue. 4, scent. Scent goes for anything that's aromatic that you smell, right? Candles, Febreze, plug-ins, all that stuff, right? Scents are terrible. Now, candles seem harmless enough, right? Here's the thing about candles. Women are obsessed with them. Obsessed with them. Ask your sons this, they'll probably say the same thing, right? Like all growing up when I was a younger kid, like my godmother, my grandma, my mom, my aunt, whoever, if I had to buy a gift for a woman that was older than me and I didn't know what to get, I just got a candle and they loved it every damn time. Yankee Candle. Oh, here's this $40 candle and you just think that I hung the moon because I bought you this candle that smells like a Christmas tree, right? Women love these things, but what they don't understand is candles are a huge source of indoor pollution, and they put off chemicals that are clinically proven to be as dangerous as second-hand smoke. Literally, okay? Candles. Your candles are as dangerous as second-hand smoke, and you probably have little kids in the house. Think about that for a second, and I'll tell you why. Because most of these store-bought candles, Yankee Candle, all that kind of stuff, right? They're made out of something called paraffin wax. And when paraffin wax burns, it turns into different things. It burns into benzene and toluene, both known carcinogens. Benzene and toluene, that's what paraffin wax burns into when heated. Benzene, toluene. Thanks, candle makers. More cancer for the whole family. Thank you. We appreciate it. You guys are awesome, right? Now, on top of that, studies have shown, so candle wicks used to be made of lead, and that was banned. So it's actually, you're not allowed to make wicks out of lead anymore because it was so toxic when burned. Newsflash, 30% of American candle brands still do it. How do they get away with it? I don't know. How do they get away with it? Sticking toxic metals in their wicks that we still burn and smell, right? It's ridiculous, guys. You cannot trust this stuff. You cannot trust marketers. You cannot trust the medical community. I know that I'm sounding very conspiracy theory here, but that's what's happening. 30% of candle makers are still putting heavy metal toxins in their wicks that you're smelling, okay? And the same goes for bullshit Glade plugins and bullshit Febreze and the disinfectant that you keep in your bathroom, right? It's ridiculous. So I'll give you an example. I felt so bad. She's probably watching this too, but I mean, we already dealt with this, but she'll laugh at it. So one day I come home and my mom has surprised me. She has surprised me by filling my whole house, like one in every room, with a Glade plug-in. She's like, your house, did you notice anything? And I was like, yeah, it smells. And she was like, yeah, exactly. I got you all these Glade plugins. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. You are so sweet. I love you, Mom. You're the best. By the way, it's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. But yeah, so she gets me all these Glade plugins, right? And I actually lived with it for like a month. I felt so bad because it was such a sweet gesture that I didn't want to say anything. I lived with it for like a month, and I'd wake up and I'd be smelling this scent going to sleep. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm killing myself. So eventually I had to tell her, couldn't live with it anymore. She laughed about it. She took them home, whatever. Hopefully they're not in her house. I'll check and see if they are. But literally, it's just emitting toxic chemicals into the air, and you're inhaling these things, right? Again, as dangerous as secondhand smoke to get all those smells you like. And like I said, you got Febreze, you're spraying Febreze on the couch because it smells like dog. You're spraying it in the air, killing the bacteria in the air. You got the disinfectant for when someone comes over and you serve dinner and they light up your bathroom to high heaven, and then you spray this stuff in the air there. It's crazy. It's like literally we're using all this ridiculous stuff, even in your car, right? New car scent, right? Put this freshener up. That new car smell, that's new cancer cell smell. Congratulations. Still want it? Literally, that's what we're dealing with. It's crazy. It's in everything. It's absolutely in everything. So when you stop and think about it, it's sort of a miracle that humans aren't sicker than we already are. Now, the sad thing is it's impossible to say that Americans are healthy. The vast majority of Americans are sick. But I will say this, it's amazing that we're not doing worse because literally everything in your environment is trying to kill you.